Alright guys, ZFR back here again today, and this is my review for episode 707 of The Walking Dead, Sing Me a Song. And pretty much, oh man, this episode was amazing. This is what we've been waiting for. Like, honestly, I'm kind of surprised they pushed it so far back compared to the comics, but we'll get into that in a second, why I think they did that, or how they're going to play this. I mean, like, because they're definitely going a lot slower than everybody thought they would, but they're still kind of on the same page. They're remixing a lot of stuff here and keeping a lot of it the same, so it's important to keep that in mind. But anyway, like, this episode was freaking great if you are a Carl fan. I mean, like, there was just so much cool stuff with Carl that happened this episode. Got to see the stuff between him and Negan. Don't worry, that relationship is going to get a lot more unstable. Like, if you thought that was an unstable relationship already, it's going to become an even more unstable one as time goes by. Like, you're going to see what I mean, within the next year, or next year technically, after the break. But anyway, like, yeah, the episode starts off with, let's see, how did it start? It start off with them in the van again, right? Yeah, it did. And pretty much we see Carl and Jesus. They're still hiding in the back of the van, and you know, they're waiting for a chance to get out. At least Jesus is. And you know, he sees a statue, and I'm guessing he knows where this statue is located. Like, that's the point where his knowledge of where they're going stops. So he starts to pour some syrup out to, like, leave a trail for him to come back to later, which I think was a pretty nice little touch, because in the comics, like, he totally just followed them all the way there and on foot and ran back. Like, he was leaving no kind of trail. So I thought that was pretty cool. And you see them get, like, towards the sanctuary, and Jesus is like, alright, we gotta jump out of the truck. They jump. Carl doesn't. He just gives them the wave. And I really like the little stuff they did, like Jesus pretty much cutting the box with the alcohol they took from Gregory. I think it was the Scotch or something like that, and pretty much it just spilling all over the place. Pretty much he's like, nah, neither Negan or Gregory is getting this. He's screwing them both over. So, and yeah, the box breaks open. The dude sees Carl, and bro, at first I was like, how are they going to do this? Carl doesn't have a gun. When he reached in the box and grabbed that freaking what's it called, M16, I want to say that was I want to say that was an M16. It might have been a different model though. But yeah, pretty much he reached in that box and grabbed that gun. I was like, oh snap, here we go. I will say I was kind of sort of disappointed with the scene. Not completely. Like, I still loved it. I still thought it was awesome and intense. But I do kind of feel like they could have done some things better. Like, I hear some people saying Chandler Riggs' face expression when he came out, he should have been a little more nervous looking or whatever. I don't really care about that. I don't think Carl would be too nervous. I mean, for those of you who don't know, like, that gunshot was supposed to have some effect on Carl when that happened. You know, like, that was supposed to kind of make him a little more cold and distant slightly. So, like, I don't really see the problem with him having, you know, like a straight face expression when he comes out, like, not being afraid, because he's not afraid, you know, at this point. So, but what kind of disappointed me was that he only killed 2 guys. Like, I was kind of expecting him to mow down at least 4 dudes, like at least 4 or 5 dudes, like he did in the comics. Like, because in the comics he kills 2 guys just on his way out of the truck, which is what kind of got me. Like, so I thought once he got out there, he was going to shoot like at least 2 or 3 more trying to hit Negan, and you didn't even get to see Negan trying to you know, dodge the bullets. Like in the comics, Carl almost got Negan. Compared to the show, like, we didn't really get to see it as much, I would say. Like, in the comics, like, he came real close to shooting Negan with that gun. But like Negan was ducking and weaving through his saviors, so Carl couldn't hit him. But yeah, it didn't go down exactly like that. But I still liked what we got. We still got the White tackling Carl, you know, pointing the gun in his face and stuff. But and we got, I loved it. Let me just say, I did love it when Negan said, is that any way to treat our new guests? And they panned out and sold the sanctuary, like the full sanctuary. Like, let me just say, I was not expecting that. Like, that was a really awesome moment, especially if you're a comic fan. Like, you probably really like that little touch. That was straight off of the pages of the comic when they did that. Like, I was just like, holy crap. And it's kind of cool because I feel like this is almost like a follow-up episode to that last one we got, to episode 3 of this season, you know, with Daryl in the cell and everything. Like, because in that episode we got to kind of see how the soldiers and how the people who are working for points have to live and how they have to work in the sanctuary and stuff. We got to see all that. But in this episode, I love how we got to see the other side of it, which is where Negan lives and, you know, how he's living and stuff, because we didn't really get to see that in the other episode. I'm really glad they ended up doing a lot of stuff that they did. They had a lot of comic book fans worried that they skipped over some really important stuff. And I know people like to say, oh, stop trying to please the comic fans all the time. But the show is only great because of the comics. The show, sure, they've remixed some stuff and made some stuff better. But keep in mind that the comic has a lot of things in it. Well, pretty much the comic is what they're building the show off of. It's been that way since day one. That's the reason the show's made it this far. So yeah, people want some comic book stuff. But anyway, moving off of that, like, man, let's see. I'm just going to skip around because I don't want this video to be mad long. Let's talk about the White and Sari, the little conversation they had about, you know, the whole Iron thing not being their fault. Like, I think, well, no, you know what? I'm going to come back to that. Let's just talk about the whole Sing Me a Song thing with Carl. I loved Chandler Riggs' acting here. Like, I thought he did really good. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of iffy. I was like, I don't know if Carl would be shaking out of fear from Negan. I just don't know. But now I think about it, I guess he technically would be. I mean, if you were young like that, you would be kind of scared in this situation. Or you would be kind of pissed off that he made you remove the eye bands and stuff. The eye, the sought out eye, it looked good. I think they did a good job on that. I was kind of expecting it to look a little more gruesome than that. I'm not gonna lie to you, because in the comics, it has like that big hole right there. Then it kind of goes around the side of his face a little bit, like a huge scar, like. So I was kind of expecting that to be a little more gruesome, but at the same time, it was still awesome. I understand that they can't do too much with that. Like, I mean, they did a lot already, but like, they can't go mad crazy with that and make it look super realistic and stuff. So, yeah, like, it was good in my opinion that we got to see that, and I thought they did a good job on the makeup there. But man, like, the whole Sing Me a Song stuff, that was a great scene. Nice acting from both Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Carl in that one. I mean, I said Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Carl. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Chandler Riggs. That goes back into what I was saying. Like, Chandler Riggs hasn't really had too many episodes to act on his own to kind of really, you know, get a chance to show off his skills as much as people want him to. Like, some people have been saying he's just a weak actor. He hasn't had too many chances quite yet. Like, you know, I mean, like I said, kind of one of my teachers said it in English class, in a story, it's always better to have an orphan, because if the parents are around, like, they're just going to be telling the kid what to do. The kid's not going to be an interesting character. Same thing with Carl. When Rick's around, he's a little less interesting because Rick's telling him what to do. So yeah, at the end of the day, I thought all of that was good. The iron stuff was amazing. Like, somebody give that dude who was sitting in the chair an award, because he was shaking like crazy. I thought his level of fear for that was great. I loved all that. The freaking Negan burning his face off and stuff, and you can see the skin just kind of pulling off when he pulls the iron away. It's so gruesome. And then now we have the stuff with the White and Sari. Pretty much the White saying like it's still sort of like Sari's trying not to take the responsibility for, you know, some of the stuff that's happened. Like for instance, her like for instance, her telling on that dude and getting his face burnt, and the White's like, you still have to take responsibility kind of for stuff. It's still your problem, and she's like, you should go, and he's like, well, we're not doing anything, and she kind of says, yeah, we're not. And in case you didn't catch that, that's kind of both of them getting fed up with this. I feel like, I feel like Sari's a little fed up with Negan and the way he's running things. I feel like the White is kind of just fed up with, you know, Negan prancing around with his wife. So, yeah, like, I do think that was the White who slipped the note to Daryl. That's my prediction on that. I think he's absolutely the one that slipped the note under the door to Daryl. It could be Sari, but who knows? We'll have to wait and find out. I do think Daryl is going to escape next episode and stuff, which is cool for Daryl fans. And pretty much you have the stuff with Eugene and Rosita. I thought Rosita was kind of being a little harsh on Eugene. I mean, Eugene has helped them in the past. It's not like Eugene hasn't done anything before. It's not like he's never been useful, you know. He's done a few things, like he saved them with that fire truck when they were getting rushed by all those walkers back in season 5, I think. So there's stuff like that. Last season he did the thing where he tried to lead the Saviors away, and he got captured first and everything, but he still tried to lead them away. So yeah, I think Eugene does stuff. Like, I think she was kind of harsh there, and she says sorry. I like how Eugene is salty towards her when she says it. He's like, nah, I'm not accepting that. You're obviously just saying it because you feel bad about what you said. And I like this because in the comics, like, Eugene likes Rosita. Like, I mean, he likes her a lot. And he kind of, you know, he kind of just takes a lot of her BS. But I like the fact that he wasn't taking it here. He was kind of calling her out on a lot of it. But yeah, she was being pretty mean to him. But Rosita in the show so far, let me just say, Rosita in the show, she's definitely a better character than in the comics. I like what they're doing with her that's different from the comics. In the comics, at this point, she was not on this raids fest to get revenge on the Saviors and stuff. I'm loving what they're doing with that. I can't wait to see where that goes. She has a bullet. Hopefully she doesn't do anything stupid with it on this upcoming episode. And let's see, there's the stuff with Rick and Aaron. It looks like they're going to come back with some supplies, but that freaking, they have to get through that water and stuff for all those walkers, so they're going to be back late next episode or mid next episode, because next episode is 90 minutes just like this one, so be excited about that. And pretty much the last thing to talk about is Negan coming back to Alexandria, flirting with Olivia. I love that scene. I thought the acting was great there from Olivia. I like Olivia. Like, I like the actress playing her. I like her. I like her acting. Like, she's doing a real good job of Olivia. She's bringing her to life off the pages of the comic and stuff, better than I thought she would have been. So yeah, I'm liking that stuff with Negan, Carl, and Olivia. And then Negan finds Judith, and Carl's like, oh crap, and they're just sitting out on the porch, and he's just talking crazy talk to the baby. That was awesome. That's where the episode ends. I give this episode a freaking 9.5, man. Like, I think this episode was great. I hope nobody will disagree with that, because this was an amazing episode in my opinion, hands down. But anyway, guys, tell me what you guys think. Don't forget to leave likes and comments down below and leave your opinion and stuff. That'll really help me out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I will see you guys on the next one. ZFR out, guys.